He talks a good game. He talks a good game. On the outside, he talks a good game.
Hello, welcome to On Me Ed's Son. Hope you're all well. Hey, it's match day. It's match day. Man United are coming to the London Stadium tonight for what, 8:15 kickoff. So that's going to be a real late night coming back for me. I'm going to the game. Can't wait. I thought I'd just do this quick live show before I have a bit of lunch, get back to doing a bit of work that I was doing, and then leave later on at the end of my working day, hop on the train, straight over to London Stadium and see what's what. Maybe have a couple of pre-match drinks. I'll see how I go. I'll see how I feel. Otherwise, it's on the black stuff. Just in case I forget who I am. And yeah, so looking at hello, what's happened here? I've lost the camera. Hold on a minute. I wonder if you're still getting me. Hold on, wait a minute. Hello, I should be back. Sorry about that. Hold on a minute. There we go. Okay, there we go. This is live show. This is why I love it so much. Things go wrong and you have to kind of think on your feet. So if you're watching that, you think, what an amateur. Well, there we go. I can't even believe it myself, but there we go. Listen, tonight, cannot wait for the game. Who knows what's going to happen, of course. Nobody's got a crystal ball. Nobody can see what's going to go on. I'm expecting Man United to come down. You know, they want 5 in a row. Their channels are saying, yeah, let's go to West Ham and let's beat them 5 in a row. Carrick can do it. That's their mindset, right? I've always said our mindset should always be, this is Nuno, this is the whole coaching staff. You know, forget about the ownership right now because they're a bunch of tossers, right? But in terms of the club as we know it, in terms of on the pitch, right? Nuno, coaching staff, and all the players got to have the mindset to say, we're going to beat them. We're going to win. We have to win. We're going to try and win. Everything that we do in the 90, 95, 97 minutes, however long this bloody game is going to go on for, is we are going to win. We're going to try and win. We're going to take the game to them. My question is, regardless of how I feel about Nuno in terms of reverting to this type of defensive football and making defensive decisions when we don't need to make it, and regardless of what I feel is that I'm really excited what's been happening the last few games in terms of the way we've been playing, my concern is that he's always going to have that in the back of his mind, that he's going to be defensive. I think he's going to set up more defensively tonight than he would do. I'm not sure we're going to see a 4-4-2 tonight. I think we're going to see probably a 4-5-1. You know, we're talking about... And that makes sense, right? That makes sense if you think about, okay, we need to counteract what Man United are going to do with their midfield, right? But I still say that we've got to have always an idea about going forward, because if we're just defensive to contain Man United, that means we're not looking to go forward. We've got to have that mindset that regardless of what our formation is, we're looking to go forward. We're looking to overpower the midfield, supply whoever's up front, you know, bring in Bowen, bring in Somerville, and away we go. Now, apparently, according I was watching a Hammers chat this morning, Gio. I don't know Gio, by the way. He seems like I don't know him, so I can't really say, right? Seems all right. But he was sort of talking about a couple of injuries and stuff. I don't have this information, so, you know, don't look here for any of that kind of information, of course. But it does lend itself to the argument of, well, we've been doing well because the players that we've got against the opposition that we've been facing, they've been on fire. There's been harmony. We've been playing with a smile on our face, and we've been getting a little bit of success. But there's nothing behind that. So if we lost to Somerville, we lost to Bowen, we lose a Fernandez, right? We're in major problems in terms of going forward, right? In terms of having success going forward. We've already lost to Debo going back. Dizazi came in, did a decent job. Let's see how he does tonight. I assume Dizazi and Mavropanos are going to start. The back four was going to say. I'll be interested to see if Areola goes in instead of Hermansen. Mauxer, hello there. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Here we go. Morning. I'm up for it. 4-4-2 will be playing to our strengths. Come on, Johannes. Yeah, I'm not sure if he will. I think so. I think that's the way we should be playing. I'm not sure that defensive-minded Nuno is going to do that. I think he's going to bring in a 5 in midfield. But, I just wonder, would he revert to that? Would he revert? Why not play a 4-4-1-1, almost like a 4-5-1, but really have somebody in there who's going to be attack-minded? Something like that. I mean, it really depends. If he plays Fernandez, Souček and Potts in the middle, let's just say, I don't know. But he said he tasked Souček to get forward as much as possible, then perhaps it might work, right? If you can be a foil for Bowen and Somerville on the left and right. But again, as I say, I was watching Joe this morning, and I don't know how accurate any of his information is, so I don't know. I'll only take it as is. But if there are injuries there, we've got to know who it is and how it's going to affect us, how it's going to affect our ability to play. I'm so looking forward to this game. I'm just hope I'm not disappointed. I hope you're not disappointed as well in terms of the way we play and ultimately the result. The result is everything, right? The result is everything. Because if we win tonight, okay, on paper, until tomorrow night, we're on level points with Forest. So that's got to give us a big buzz. If that isn't enough motivation for us, I don't know what is. I don't know what other motivation there needs to be. Man United are coming down. They want 5 wins in a row. Our motivation to get on level points with Forest and almost get us out this relegation bottom 3 has got to be of greater motivation. We've got to need this more, and that's it. We've got to need this more than Man United. As a fan base, we've got to need it more. I'm going there with the full purpose of getting behind the team and screaming and shouting and say we've got to win, and I'll hold them to account if they don't deliver that or if they don't show that they can do it. Look. Be under no illusion. Man United are a decent team now, and under Carrick. I've been saying for yesterday's video, whatever it was, I was saying, look, they're a basket case of a club. There's actually, I've said in the past, there are lots of parallels in terms of the way they run and the way that this is related or translated onto the pitch to West Ham. They've done better than West Ham, but last year, us, Man United and Spurs were really the 3 worst teams, bar the bottom 3, right? We were the 3 worst teams. We were all really, really crap. So under Carrick now, they've got this new sense of identity, all this regained their identity, and they're coming with purpose. Our purpose has got to be not Nuno ball. It's got to be forward thinking. So with Paco in there, Paco Hermes, the assistant coach, maybe this is enabling Nuno to come out of his shell a little bit, maybe play those players. But if we've got any kind of injuries, or if they don't perform on the night, then obviously we've got a big problem. Left back, right back, I think we've got able deputies there. Central defence, we've got nobody, right? Well, you got Kilman, but who trusts Kilman, right? In goal. Areola for me all day long, not Hermansen. Midfield, there is a bit of chopping and changing we could make there, rotating sort of Fernandez, Potts, Souček and Magassa. I think we could work in there a little bit, but ultimately, if you put Souček and Potts, or Souček and Magassa, or Potts and Magassa together, or whatever, any combination of those 3 alone, that's an ultra defensive midfield, so it doesn't lend to any attack. So we've got to have Fernandes in there, who in dropping deep, carrying the ball forward, surging forward as well. If we can have that backwards and forwards between Souček and Fernandes as we did in the last game, that's really evident. And watch out for it tonight, because you'll see it. If they do the same system, they play the same system, they were doing this. One goes forward, the other retreats. The other goes forward, the other retreats. It was actually majestic to watch. If Potts plays again, people a couple of comments have come my way. I don't get many comments, and many people don't watch the videos or live shows, so that's fine. But a couple of comments saying, well, you need to go and watch the game again because it was a great challenge by Potts, or we got the ball. Okay. You're mishearing what I'm saying, that he doesn't always get the ball. He also leaves a lot on the player. And what I'm saying is that sometimes if he leaves a lot on the player and doesn't get the ball, then cumulatively that attracts the referee's attention. So it would be giving away free kicks in areas where hopefully it's not, the opposition can't punish us, but also cumulatively he might start picking up yellow cards and red cards. So it's a balancing act. He needs to, overall his game, make sure it's the ball and not the man, right? So in terms of wanting Potts to do a great job on the pitch, which he has been, and also make sure that he stays on the pitch and he's not giving away too many free kicks, that's, we've got to look at that, or he's got to look at that, right? If you look or ask us, we always want a player that gets stuck in. Yes, we do. But we've also got to make sure that he doesn't sacrifice too much. It doesn't cost the team too much. That's what I always say. Listen, but overall, I think we've got a good chance of beating them. I really do. I think we've got a great chance of beating them. Whether we will or not, totally different, right? Totally different thing. But if we can turn their defence, if we can get at them, and I hope, the thing is I can't see it. That's why I'm dubious about it. But I really hope that Nuno can actually just say, do you know what? Let's just go at them. Paco, what do you think? And Paco says, just go at them. And I hope we could do it, because we've got the quality there. We've got the quality there, especially on Bowen and Somerville now, who's on fire. What I will say about Somerville is this. In the Burnley game, it was really evident. And lots of people were saying, our fans, and fans of Reading comments and stuff, saying that he was getting fouled a lot. And he was, to a certain degree. And the referee wasn't given a lot of those fouls. But also, there is a flip side to that argument, is that he's very weak on the ball at times. And because he's small in stature, and you got a big physical presence, let's say, against him, in the case of Kyle Walker, he was being pushed off the ball, bundled off the ball very, very easily. So, do you know what I mean? He's fantastic, but he can easily be bundled off the ball. Now, so far, he's been so great in getting in spaces and running away from players that he's had 4 or 5 fantastic games. He's scored, five games in a row. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? So fantastic. But what I'm saying is, if I'm an opposition player, an opposition team, I would say manhandle him a little bit, push him off the ball a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean a foul. It just means, rub him up a little bit and see what's what. And maybe that's that would counteract it. We're just hoping that Somerville has got a bit more about him to either get away from danger or, able to go in 50-50 and shoulder barge and show it a little bit more strength. That's all I would say with him. But I'm hoping that he can, run circles around Man United on that left-hand side. Here we go. Mount. Here we go. The only problem I have with Potts is that he needs to do more than just the basics well, and he needs to show some vision. Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying if he's playing off Fernandes, then he can do all the basic stuff, all the simple stuff, and breaking up play, that kind of thing, putting in those tackles, and let Fernandes have that vision part of it. So I'm not overly not overly upset there. Frog Noel, hello there. Thanks for joining. Thanks, I really appreciate that. You also say, can't be surprised if we get turned over tonight, but if we put up a good scrap, can live with it. Look, that's all we want, really, don't we? We want, at the bare minimum, we put up a good fight of it. We put up a good fight. We get in their faces. We put them under pressure, and we make it difficult for them. The worst thing is that all of a sudden we have a problem, right? We have a problem, and they just exploit it. They sense that there's a weakness in us, and they exploit it time and time again. If that happens, then we're going to have it's going to be a tough night. It's going to be a tough night for us, right? I'm hoping that we, last season when they come to us and we beat them 2-1, was it? I can't remember. 2-1. If you had to put your hand on your heart, and look at that game with your head and not with your heart, let's say, we didn't deserve it. They were much the better team from memory, right? They were much the better team. I was at the game, I was watching it, and we were all kind of looking around, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe we've won this." It was just insane how we won that game. And they made so many mistakes, and they missed so many opportunities, and we only had 2 or 3 chances, and we put them away. And it was. I can't even, you have to remind me, Google it right now, anybody who scored that day. I'm pretty sure we won 2-1, didn't we? But if we can do that again, my point is this: if we don't play well, we don't have the performance, as you just said, but we come out with a result, I'm all in. I don't care. Of course, I always look at the performance, because the performance is the big gauge of how you're going to be in the future. If you can continue to have these performances, it will come, right? The results ultimately will come. If you put up a really good show against better teams, and then you can carry on that performance to the lesser teams, by logic, you should be beating those lesser teams at the bare minimum, right? But you've got to be consistent with that. You've got to be consistent with our performances. I think in the last 5 games, I think I could say, we have been generally consistent, but we've faded off in the second half, right? Either by tactics or by performance or by energy. Mostly, I believe, is by tactics and substitutions and setup, rather than a drop off in any kind of performance. But I think there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity. I just hope that Nuno wants to grab this with both hands and say to the fan base, look, I am the man. I am the man to do this for you. I am the manager to do this for you. We are going to get the result. We are going to get the win. We are going to show that fight and keep on going. He was saying after the last game, it's so important for the fans to keep on cheering us on. This was the away fans at Burnley and everything like that. He said, yeah, but you got to keep on delivering. You got to keep on showing the West Ham fans, whether home or away, that we're in the game, that we're trying to fight, that you're not making stupid mistakes in terms of, in-game tactics, in-game changes, looking at the game, and so I'm just hoping we can do it. I'm really looking forward to it. If you see me around tonight, and you recognise me, come and say hello. I'm always up for a chat, always up for to let you know what I think will happen. And usually I'll be scratching my head, hope we win. I hope, because that's it. I hope we win. That's it. I hope we win. But listen, come and say hello if you see me. If you don't, you don't. And that's it. But always nice to meet people. Always nice to bump into people. I'm going to try and get off at some point. So I've got a bit more work to do this afternoon, and then I'm going to be heading off to the game. So hopefully, a couple of pre-match drinks, and get in the stadium and see how we go. It's got to be a win, right? It's got to be a win. Frog and a Well. There's the bones of something forming. Be ashamed to drop and it all fall apart. I'm with you 100%. you know, there is something forming there. I think I said a few videos ago, a few live shows ago, I was talking about, okay, if we can see this to the end of the season, then we've got to see what happens in whether we stay up or whether we get relegated. Of course, all the comings, goings and plays, but you got to talk about, okay, the tactics going forward, and can we build on from this, or will we just fall away even more? Let's just say we do build on this, we keep on, you know, having a great end to the season, and we do survive. The real proof will be, okay, what are the players that we can get in to build onto this, to support this, to keep this thing growing into next season? Is Nuno going to be the man for the job? Well, I think the man for the job would be the one who can show the fan base and give us the results and the performances to the end of the season. But it's something just to keep on building for next season. The reason why I was so adamant against Potter not being the right manager for the job at the start of the season, after the very first game when we lost to Sunderland 3-0 at the Stadium of Light up there, was because all of last season when he came in, we were terrible. So if Nuno can have a great end to the season, last 13 games, do you know what I mean? Then we kind of be thinking, well, yeah, maybe he'll change opinion. Maybe he'll change my opinion, right? Right? You know what I mean? Freshfielder, good afternoon. Power to the people and all that. I hope you're all well. And I picked on the wrong one there. Afternoon all. Right, I am definitely going to go now. I've talked too much. Have a great evening. Come on, you irons. Yeah. Or as I always say, up the hammers. And I'll catch you again another live show coming very, very soon. Wherever you're watching the game tonight, enjoy, be safe, have fun, cheer us on, and hopefully we'll do something great. Hopefully we'll do something great, right? Right, catch you again another live show, video, whatever, coming very soon. Bye now.